Today I'm going to read a story out of the Pixar Storybook collection and see how well you like that and like this story. It's called Toy Story, Moving Day. So, Toy Story, someone is maybe moving. Sid was Andy's next door neighbor. He wasn't very nice to his toys. He'd take them apart, then attach one toy's head or leg to another body. Sid had one, Woody the cowboy, and Buzz Lightyear, the space ranger, in a game at Pizza Planet. Woody and Buzz had been at the restaurant looking for Andy. As Woody looked around Sid's room, some of Sid's toys came out from their hiding places. "They're going to eat us, Buzz," Woody yelled. "Use your karate chop action." Woody and Buzz managed to escape from Sid's toys. They ran out into the hallway and came face to face with Sid's dog, Scud. Woody ducked into the closet. Buzz hid in a dark room behind the door. Suddenly Buzz heard someone saying, "Calling Buzz Lightyear, this is Star Command." Buzz looked up at the TV. The voice was coming from an ad for Buzz Lightyear toys, it continued. "The world's greatest superhero, now the world's greatest toy. Not a flying toy. Not a flying toy," he said. Buzz stared in shock at the TV. He wouldn't believe what he had just heard. He wondered if Woody had been right all along. Was he really just a toy? The Space Ranger walked out of the room feeling sad. He looked out an open window at the blue sky and watched a bird fly by. He kept hearing Woody's voice in his head saying, "You're a toy, you can't fly. You're a toy, you can't fly." He hung his head against the railing over the stairs. Then he had an idea. He would prove to Woody that he could fly. He was a space ranger. Buzz climbed up and stood on top of the railing. He opened his wings, then he leaped. "To infinity and beyond," he called. He hung in the air for a moment and then started to fall. He crashed on the floor at the bottom of the stairs, breaking off his left arm. Oh my goodness, he broke his arm. When Woody found him, Buzz was upset, but he understood that he was a toy. Woody was desperate to get them both back to Andy's house. He ran to the open window and called out, "Hey guys!" Andy's toys appeared in the window next door. They were surprised Woody was there. "Oh boy, am I glad to see you guys," Woody said. "Here, catch this." He tossed a string of Christmas lights over to them as he and Buzz could climb across. So they were going to climb across these here lights. But Buzz wouldn't move. Woody held out Buzz's broken arm to show that he was with him. The other toys didn't believe Woody. They thought he had hurt their new friend. Woody felt terrible. When he turned around to tell Buzz, he saw Sid's malicious toys close in around. The Space Ranger. When Woody felt very terrible, he turned around to tell Buzz he saw Sid's malicious toys closing in around the Space Ranger. Woody ran over to them back, but they took Buzz's arm and pushed the cowboy away. Then after a few minutes, the malicious toys stepped away from Buzz. They had reattached his arm, and Woody couldn't believe it. Suddenly, the other toys scurried off. Sid was coming. Woody hid under a milk crate, but Buzz wouldn't move. When Sid walked into the room, he held out a rocket. I've always wanted to put a spaceman into orbit, he said. Then he taped the rocket to Buzz. So see, there was his rocket that he was in. Let's see what happens. Sid was about to take Buzz outside when he saw a flash of lightning. "Oh no," Sid cried. He looked at the rocket. The launch would just have to wait until tomorrow. All night Woody tried to convince Buzz to help him escape. He knew Andy's family was moving the next day and they had to get home. But Buzz didn't care about going home. Andy's house, Sid's house, what's the difference, he said. I'm just a little significant toy. Look, Woody said, over in that house is a kid who thinks you are the greatest. And it's not because you're a space ranger, pal. It's because you're a toy. You're his toy. Woody tried to convince Buzz all night long, but Buzz didn't even move until he looked at the bottom of his boot. Andy had written his name there. Then Buzz knew what he had to do. He walked over to Woody. "Come on, Sheriff," he said. "There's a kid over in that house who needs us." Buzz helped Woody out from under the milk crate. But before they could escape, Sid woke up and grabbed Buzz. "Time for a liftoff," he cried as he ran out of the room. Oh my goodness, how about that? Woody asked Sid's toys to help him. "We're going to have to break a few rules," he said, "but it works. It'll help everybody." The toys came up with a plan and raced outside. Buzz was in position to be launched. Sid got ready to light the rocket, and suddenly he heard a voice. He looked around and saw Woody. He picked up the cowboy. Then Sid's toys came out from their hiding places in the yard, and soon Sid was surrounded by all the toys he had hurt. Sid looked at the toys around him. As each one came closer, he panicked more and more. Woody kept speaking to Sid, which made the boy even more scared. "From now on, you must take good care of your toys, because if you don't, we'll find out," Sid said. Then Woody leaned in close and pointed at Sid. "So play nice." Sid screamed and dropped Woody. He ran into the house and slammed the door. The toys cheered. Woody helped Buzz down off the launching pad. That's when he saw the moving truck pulling out of Andy's driveway. Woody ran through the hole in the fence, but the rocket on Buzz's back got stuck. "Just go," Buzz called on Woody. "I'll catch up." When Woody realized Buzz was stuck, he ran back to help him. The two toys ran down the street chasing the truck. Buzz was the first there. He grabbed a loose strap and pulled himself up on the truck's bumper. Woody was right behind him. See, just look at him. "Come on," Buzz said. "You can do it, Woody." Woody grabbed the strap and started to pull himself up, but something grabbed his boot. Here it was Scud. Buzz saved Woody by jumping into Scud's head, but the truck was moving away quickly. Woody climbed into the back of the van and rummaged through the boxes. The other toys didn't know what he was doing. Finally, Woody found what he was looking for. RC car. He sent RC out after Buzz, and Andy's other toys were upset with Woody. They still thought he'd hurt Buzz, so they pushed him out of the truck. Then they watched as Buzz and RC picked up Woody. Buzz had the remote control and was speeding toward the truck. The toys realized that it had all been a misunderstanding. Slinky Dog stretched himself out as far as he could, but they still couldn't get close enough. Suddenly, RC started slowing down. His batteries had run out. Woody watched sadly as the truck drove away. Then Buzz remembered the rocket on his back. They lit it and zoom! Closer to the truck, RC landed easily in the back, but Woody and Buzz launched into the sky. Buzz snapped open his wings, and he and Woody broke free of the rocket. Now they don't have the rocket on their back anymore. Buzz, you're flying, Woody exclaimed. This isn't flying, Buzz said. This is falling with style. The two toys flew toward Andy's car. They dropped through the open sunroof and landed safely on the back seat. Andy turned and saw the cowboy and space ranger. Woody, Buzz, he shouted. He was happy to see his two favorite toys back. Here they were, back in the car. Buzz and Woody settled into Andy's new house with the rest of his toys. They were happy to be home. When Christmas rolled around, the toys sat near the baby monitor to listen as Andy opened his gifts. You're not worried, are you, Woody? Asked Buzz. No, Buzz said nervously. Are you? Now, Buzz, what could Andy possibly get that is worse than you? Woody teased. They listened as the first present was opened. Oof, oof. Wow, a puppy, Andy cried. Buzz and Woody looked at each other and laughed. At least it wasn't a toy. They were happy about that. Thank you so much for listening to this story, this story. They got to the new home okay. Thank you and God bless.